I like everybody that I work with. I mean, it's terrible. It's the same thing. Maybe I like Dick because he's got a cape. I'm sorry. No, I've never been unhappy with anybody I've ever worked with. I've gotten to work with the best people in the field. I'm working now. I mean, they come back in, right, after being gone for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, and I get Brian Michael Bendis to do Avengers. Is that, am I lucky? You just like, bang, just like that. So I'm the luckiest guy in the world. There's nobody luckier. And that was a boring question. I'm sorry.
All right. Hey, Neal, you've been known for doing so many seminal...
It's Neal and Josh.
Look.
Neal and Josh.
How you doing, Josh?
Hi. Solid.
For my question, what was it like working for both DC and Marvel? How would you compare and contrast, doing books like Green Arrow, Green Lantern, the Batman, Dead Man, as opposed to doing the X-Men and Avengers for Marvel?
Okay. It was a different time, so that there was a lot of weird stuff. I'm sorry. I didn't say that. There was a lot of weird stuff going on. For example, like the companies didn't want other artists to work for the other company or writers. So they made it very clear. So what would happen is that artists would work for the other company, only they'd sign another name. I think Gene Colan was Adam Austin.
Yeah, his son's name's Adam Austin.
Yeah. So you had Adam Austin, you had weird names of inkers would sign different names. I thought, as with many things in the business, this was a terrible practice. So I went over to Marvel Comics and I asked Stan, my friend, Stan, I'd like to do a book for you because what's his name? Jim Steranko. I hardly remember his name. He used to, back in the old days, remember?
That's a joke.
That's a joke. Jim said, hey, you want to work this Marvel method where you do the story and the writer just puts in the words. Cool. So I went to see Stan, and I said, I'd like to do a book. He said, sure, anything you want. I said, well, why do you say anything I want? He said, well, because the only book that we read over here at Marvel from DC is Dead Man. I said, cool. So he said, anything you want. I said, well, okay, I'll just, whatever, I'll work. What's your worst selling book? He said, X-Men, we're going to cancel it in 2 issues. Boy, where have I heard that before? We're going to cancel it in 2 issues. I said, well, I'll do that. I said, so Stan said, why do you want to do that? I said, because you're going to cancel it in 2 issues and you won't pay any attention to me. He said, that's true. I won't pay any attention. I'm going to cancel in 2 issues. So, and of course, it didn't get canceled for 10, 11 issues. Then it did, and then it came back. Anyway, so he said, so how do you want to be listed in the credits? I said, Neal Adams. He said, well, DC doesn't really like that, I said, well, too bad. So Stan says, but Neal, if you work for Marvel, I don't know that, the publisher would like you to work for DC. I said, well, I'll see you, Stan. Bye. He said, no, it's okay. It's just fine. Neal Adams. Can I call you Nefarious, Neal? Please, Stan, don't do that. So from that moment on, any freelancer could go back and forth between Marvel and DC. Because obviously nothing happened to me, so obviously it was an empty threat, and so everything opened up. That conversation took maybe 30 seconds, and we cracked that. Sometimes problems seem bigger than they really are.